We've got some breaking, sad story coming from Alaska, a cruiser involved in a tragedy. We also have Royal delivering another ship early. And is there a Carnival loyalty, hack? Maybe. Look, all that and more on this live episode of The Cruise Show.
All aboard! Your ship is leaving. Talking about everything going on in cruising. It's the Lido Loca time. It's the cruise show. It's the cruise show.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to La Lido Loca. Welcome to The Cruise Show. I am your host, Tony, here to talk you through everything going on in cruising. It's everything going on in cruising. It's for your face. For your face on a Thursday, the 18th of September, 2025. And we're doing it live. I've got 3 stories for you, and then I'm going to switch over and answer your cruise questions. And there's also a poll out there in the chat. So welcome to the live studio audience, and let's talk about some of this cruise news. First up, we have a cruiser accident in Alaska. This story is just breaking this morning. 2 cruise ship passengers fell while hiking on the Mount Roberts Trail in Juneau, Alaska. It happened Tuesday evening, actually, so 2 nights ago, September the 16th, 2025, around 8:10 p.m. One of the men, a 36-year-old named Britton Poole from Texas, slid further down the mountain than the first guy and passed away. First guy was rescued by rescuers. Second guy, they had to locate him by drone, and he had passed away from his injuries sustained by the fall. They have been able to retrieve his body. It doesn't say which cruise line that these guys came off of, but this happened near the tram area there on the Mount Roberts Trail, and apparently the weather was pretty bad. It was fogged over, it was wet and slick, and the word's coming out that maybe they missed a trail on the way back. What's wild is this is the second incident of this that I know this year. There was another cruise passenger that went missing for a full day that had the same scenario, that had fallen off the trail at the Mount Roberts Trail. So, sad story, and it just goes to show you just never know what's going to happen. Somebody was asking earlier, with all of the stuff that happens in cruising, does it freak me out or anything like that? These are all outlier events. Like, millions of people go on cruises without any kind of incident at all. But of course, when we're commenting on cruising or we're talking about what's going on in cruising, we do talk about these outlier events. Certainly, a horrible time for the families and friends of these guys, and especially the one that passed away. Let's here we go. The second story, a little more positive. Royal Caribbean they're doing it again. So what we've seen over the last few ship launches from Royal Caribbean is this scenario where they get the cruise ship done early, and even though they'd already projected a first cruise, an inaugural cruise, the very first sailing, they put more sailings in front of it. So that is the scenario with the Legend of the Seas. This is the 3rd in the Icon class, and because of progress, they've added 3 new 7-night sailings to its inaugural season. This is the way all the cruise lines get away with it a little bit. They call, the first year basically the inaugural season, and so there's a lot of inaugural sailings, and they, normally give out the same inaugural gifts. I was on maybe the 2nd or 3rd sailing of the Star of the Seas, and I still got inaugural season gifts. The new sailings will depart July the 11th, July the 18th, and July the 25th. These will be taking out of Rome. The first one was officially scheduled later than that. This is going to be, so guests that were already booked on the original August the 2nd sailing will have first right of refusal for any of these new cruises. They can switch to the earlier sailings and stay with the pricing from their original bookings. Then Legend of the Seas, of course, is being built in Finland, and it's floated out on August the 29th. And so I know in the past when this has happened, people tend to get upset. And they're like, I thought I was on the first cruise, but now I'm not on the first cruise. I think anybody that's a fan of Royal, that's been tracking along with all of these releases, I think even we go back to Utopia, there's going to be earlier sailing. So I would just caution folks that if you are cruising on any of these new Royal ships and you think you're booking the first cruise, more than likely it's not going to be the first cruise. It's still going to be a fantastic time, but if you can, keep yourself flexible to maybe cruise earlier. But a Royal Caribbean doing it again. doing it again, coming out with earlier sailings for the Legend of the Seas. And then I want to share this with you guys, Carnival Loyalty Boost. I saw this first on the TikTok account of Alex Robertson. He's a cruise content creator. He's on a lot of platforms. I see him all over the place. I saw him mention this, and then I got an email from Justin Austin talking about they were the Carnival. So Carnival, of course, they've got their new rewards program. Big announcement from them this week that if you can make Diamond by June the 1st next year, the very last day, May 31st, 2026, if you are Diamond on that date, you will be Diamond for life, Diamond forever. And it's got a lot of people scrambling. They've also done a really nice thing on their website and put, how many days sailed. And I think I saw one the other night for me that said how many days to Diamond. I've got 122 days in. You have to have 200 days for Diamond. So I'm 78 days out. And all of a sudden in the casino offers, now this is really only going to benefit people that play in the casino, these level up offers started showing up for casino players. And if you look closely, and of course it's probably hard to see on the screen here, but on some of these casino offers, they're offering 3 times the current VIFP points, which normally you get 1 point for 1 day sailed. Well, on these level up offers that have the 3 times, you're getting 3 days for 3 points for 1 day sailed. So I had the offer, and my wife, the lovely Jenny B, had the offer, and so you can use the offer twice. And so a couple days ago, we booked 4 cruises, I think 2 in January of next year and 2 in February of next year, which will equal about 25 days of sailing. And if we get the 3 times the points, which we should, that's what the offer is, that will give us 75 days. And so I'm getting close to, I think we had 25 days. Either way, I think I might be able to make the Diamond with these level up offers. Now, I don't think everybody's getting them, and certainly I think it's just a casino thing, but it's interesting to watch Carnival do their thing in this scenario. They, announced the original rewards program, and of course that wasn't very well received. And then even this last week when they've announced what they're doing to give Diamonds forever, and also just the points boost that they're going to give the Platinum Cruisers, people still aren't excited. I'm not even sure what you get at Diamond, but I'm kind of obsessive enough and kind of a gamer enough to where I'm like, I just want to see if we can get the reward, whatever it is. And so I think we're going to try to do that. I was trying to get on a sailing on the 22nd, and I think I probably would have had to book it yesterday because I went in this morning to try to get on something on the 22nd of this month, and I couldn't book it. So I don't know if I'll be able to do that. But that's everything that's going on in cruising. Those are some updates on some cruise news stories. If you're just watching the replay, you want to stay up to date with everything going on in cruising, make sure you are subscribed and hit the like button. And now we're going to transition into the chat. We're going to transition into the audience and answer some questions. So if you have any questions, just type the word question, and we will go from there. Let's go back to the old good old cruise show logo. All right, what's going on, everybody? I hope the news was helpful to you. And if you have some questions, let me see. Question, do you have any questions? Well, I don't see any questions as of yet. If everybody's here, please hit the like button. Is it time to dance? Ron, it's always time to dance. I saw that you were looking for food and dance. This Ron Adams, a little needy. Bring your own lunch, buddy. I'm hungry myself, though, to be honest. I got to be careful. I had to switch this mic over. Something's wrong with my normal connection, so now I'm connected by USB, and I can easily, if you touch where the green is, you can mute it. So I have to do that. Question, is there any port you can fish at? Like off the pier, I don't think you're going to be able to fish off of any cruise piers. There's several ports that have fishing excursions where they will take you deep sea fishing. And then I'm assuming that you can go to places near the pier and fish. But that's an interesting question. Like, I don't know. Does anybody know if there's a fishing pole rental anywhere? I don't know if you can even bring your own fishing pole on the cruise ship, but I'm pretty confident that where the cruise ships dock, all of those piers, I don't think you'll be able. I think there's a prohibition against fishing there. Pam Howe says, "Do you always buy travel insurance?" Yes. My philosophy is nothing is a problem until it's a problem. We travel enough to where we have an annual insurance plan. We get that through Allianz. But even before we had the annual plan, I did not cruise without insurance. I run into people that are like, "Oh, I never get insurance. I've been on 20 cruises. It's just a waste of money." And then you see these stories that pop up where people don't have travel insurance and now they're trying to scrounge together $80,000 to airlift somebody out of something or to pay a medical bill when you could have just paid a couple $100 up front and not had that issue. Nothing's a problem until it's a problem. And when it comes to injury or medevac on a cruise ship, it's a big problem. It's a big financial problem. So let's see. Question: will the new rewards program with Carnival work with Princess? Ronald Johnson, I don't think so. What I understand about Carnival Corporation is that those are essentially siloed brands. So certainly Carnival Corporation owns all of those cruise companies. But what I understand is that all those cruise companies work independently. So like the medallion technology on Princess is awesome. So you would think, well, could we get the medallion technology on all of the Carnival Corporation brands? What's it, like 8 or 9 brands now? Well, the answer is no. That's Princess's technology. So they're very much siloed when it comes to Carnival Corporation. And yeah, I don't think they're going to cross streams. They might. We can still hope, but I do not know. Question: please tell me the difference from platinum to diamond on new rewards. I'm 80 away, and is it worth it? I have no idea, Paul, at all. They say they're going to be releasing more information about how to get points and what the points are going to be. I think there's some listing of the new stuff. I know Jenny B was reading that this morning. I don't know, but all I know is whatever they offer now, they don't have the ability to continue to give it to all the people that have it. So I think there's going to be some change in it. I don't know if it's worth it or not. Like if I didn't have these casino offers that were doing 3 and 4 times the points and the casino offers were cheap, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't chase it, but I think I'm in a position, fortunately, where I can chase it. But yeah, I'm not sure. Question: where's the best place to eat in San Juan? Alan, you have to go to the restaurant that I don't know the name of that's tucked in a corner that some local took me to. Best mofongo I've ever had. Yeah, I don't even know if the name was in that restaurant. I would, you could ask on the cruise ship what's the good local restaurant to eat in San Juan, or once you get on the street, ask the locals. But right there on the front of the street where you get off of the cruise ship, there's going to be a lot of chains. There's going to be a lot of name brand stuff. Senior Frogs, all of that stuff. I would avoid all that. Subway, don't go get Subway in San Juan. Go deeper. Go into Old Town and kind of walk the streets of Old San Juan and start looking for restaurants there. Normally that food's pretty good, and there's a lot of options. I don't know if anybody knows a good restaurant name in San Juan, but throw it out there. Question: how much of a gambler do you have to be to get an offer? I mean, I've heard people say they gamble, a couple $100 and they get an offer. I haven't gambled in Carnival in a year. I'm trying to think if I've been on Carnival in a year. But I kind of quit gambling on all cruise ships except Royal, and I still get offers pretty frequently. I don't think I ever really hit it that hard. I don't think I've ever been any deeper than $400 or $500 on Carnival, so I don't think it takes a lot of money. Let's see. Is Diamond worth it? I don't know. Honestly, I'll give you my opinion. I don't think any of these loyalty programs are worth it. I mean, I think a lot of it's psychological, but some of the best perks are 4 drinks, like on Royal. This is a great perk. 4 drinks a day if you get to be diamond status. What does that cost? Maybe $60 a day, 60 times 7, $420 a cruise. Good. That's pretty good. But if you look in like unlimited laundry, where laundry costs $15 or $20 a bag, like the amount of money that you spend sometimes to get these perks that you could just pay for out of pocket, I'm not really sure that it's that big a deal. They do have special events on a lot of these cruises to make you feel excited about being at a higher tier. But I think at the end of the day, I think it's a little bit of smoke and mirrors. I think it's a consumer thing where you try to get people to be loyal. I don't really think the juice is ever truly worth the squeeze. But I think it's fun psychologically. Like me, I'm like, hey, can I get to Diamond? I think that mental thing is exciting. So I don't know. Question from the Texas girl: I'm going on Regal Princess in January. How are the shows and how are the suites on that ship? I've never stayed in a suite on Regal Princess. I'm pretty sure I've been on Regal Princess. Princess, I like their shows. They do a nice job with their production shows. I don't know specifically which shows are on Regal Princess, but they're going to have good game shows there, which are always fun. But I do like the theater shows. Honestly, I haven't really met too many cruise shows I haven't liked, so I don't know if I'm the best person to ask, but I'm going to say they're good. They're good on the Regal Princess. Question: I know Carnival has to make a change for the loyalty program, but do you feel that has hurt their ridership? I don't know. Like, I don't know the best way to tell. We'll have to wait for an earnings call. I think when they go to report to the street, they're going to talk about how their bookings are, and they're going to talk. If you're looking at it, the fact that they released the initial program, and on day one they were like, "This is the program," and then people got upset, and like on day 4 or 5, they're like, "Hey, calm down. We could change the program." And then now they've changed the program a little bit, and we're seeing the reaction to that. I think one of the reasons to announce it 8 months, 10 months in advance is so they can tweak it and try to get people back to satisfaction. But I've seen a lot of people already say, "I'm never going back." But it's a weird thing. And I saw this with the shutdown. I saw people say, "I'm never going to cruise again because of what the cruise industry did to us." And I see those people on cruises all the time. So there's a short memory. I was going to call it hypocrisy, but there is a short memory sometimes in cruisers' minds where they're like, "I'm not," and then they just, So I think the leadership and some of these cruise companies probably understand those aspects of consumer behavior, and but they do have metrics, I'm sure, to say our bookings are up, our bookings are down. And the interesting thing is, the problem is they have too many diamonds and too many platinums, and they can't deliver the current rewards that they're offering. And so I don't know that it's going to bother them if those people go away. They're going to be happy, in my opinion. I don't know this for sure. I'm not in those meetings. They're going to be happy with some amount of people going away, and then them spending money on marketing to get fresh cruisers in that are in the new system. Because the fresh cruisers in the new system don't have anything to be mad about. They came into the new system. Just like fresh cruisers come in, they don't know, on most cruise lines, they don't know that they used to clean the room twice a day. Or they don't know that room service used to be free on most cruise lines. Or they don't know. So there's an interesting thing when it comes to the cruise industry as it explodes, as it gets to over 30 million cruisers. There is some, it seems counterintuitive, but there is some greater value, I would say, in the new customer because they're more pliable. They don't have these memories of what cruising used to be. And so I think on some level, it's okay to make loyal cruisers mad and have them go away, because now you can replace them with a cruiser that doesn't understand what it used to be like. And that's pretty harsh, right? But if you're a leader and a business person, you might be like, that works out okay. And then somebody's running all the numbers on it. There's some KPI, there's like data somewhere saying, well, we had, 80 platinums or 800 platinums go away. They quit booking or something like that. And they know what their breaking point is. And I think that's when you see these adjustments, like, oh, okay, too many people are upset. Let's make the adjustment. That's my reading on it. Let's see. Can you explain what these purple crowns 1, 2, and 3 are? On the thing, I think it has something to do with how many you comment or something like that. I think YouTube tried to gamify the live stream, and I think you get it for, I don't know, for putting comments up. But certainly don't spam any comments, because that would be hard to see everything. Question: is the Star Princess on schedule for launch in early October? I have a save the date in November, and that hasn't changed for their naming ceremony. And of course, we're scheduled on her in December. So is early October? I think it's November that it's supposed to come out, Ronald. I don't think it's unless there's a transatlantic. There could be a transatlantic. You're right. Where do I usually cruise out of? Tampa's the closest cruise port, 45 minutes. I like cruising out of Port Canaveral the best, but because I live in Florida, this year recently, I would say within the last 12 months, I've cruised out of Tampa, Port Canaveral, Fort Lauderdale, and Miami. So it happens all over. But if I had my druthers, I love that Tampa experience. You just can't get enough ships under those bridges, but it's so nice. Just 45 minutes, give the car to the valet parker, and get on the ship. That's my favorite. Okay, let's see. Oh, Databetic, thank you so much for the super chat for the games. Do you get some sort of credit for the super chat? That's very cool. You get my love for that. Thank you so much. Question: do you think RCL will have the same problem with their Crown and Anchor program becoming top heavy? It's possible, right? So I don't know. I guess that would be an interesting study to see when all of these loyalty programs were put in place and how they manage it. It could happen. And then, a lot of people say, will the industry chicken sandwich what Carnival's doing? That's my favorite term. Like one fast food restaurant gets a chicken sandwich. Oh, that reminds me of something. One fast food restaurant gets a chicken sandwich, then everybody gets a chicken sandwich. So if the switch from loyalty to money based rewards works for Carnival, who knows? Maybe the rest of the industry adopts it. I don't know. Now I will say this. I do like money based rewards because if I'm a business owner, I want to reward the people that spend the most money with me. So I do like that, but I do wish there was like some other way to make sure that you could, show loyalty or accept the loyalty of any customer. But I do like the money based one. I do want to mention this is the 18th of September. It's National Cheeseburger Day. I woke up way too early this morning, and on my social media, I saw a bunch of people talking about National Cheeseburger Day. I feel like anybody who sells a cheeseburger, they're going to have some sort of deal today. Like McDonald's has 50-cent double cheeseburgers if you buy through the app. Burger King's got something. Applebee's got something. Even Buffalo Wild Wings has something. So I don't know. If you don't have any lunch or dinner plans and you like cheeseburgers, today could be your day for a discounted piece of cheeseburger. Let's see. Question: can you use the same Royal Wow band on different ships? Becky Hay, I've never used the Royal Wow band. I can say that on Princess, you have to get a new medallion each ship, but I don't know how the WoW band works. Any WoW band people out there know if that works on multiple ships? Phyllis A, question: hi, taking a cruise in November on Princess, first time booking Cove Balcony. Have you ever stayed in a Cove Balcony? If so, what are your thoughts? If the Cove Balcony is where the metal comes in and creates a little window, I have stayed in that before. I like it as much as I like a regular balcony. You are going to have some view obstruction where the metal is, but overall, it's not too bad. I don't know if I would have like if you were giving me both and I could get the Cove probably for a little cheaper than the regular, I'd probably take that. But yeah, it is going to be different. So like when you look out of your cabin and you're looking just at a regular balcony, you kind of just got like a straight, shot to the sea. But with the Cove, you're going to have a little encroachment of metal. But I don't think that's bad. Question: do you think the Carnival needs to further tweak their loyalty program for more loyal guests be slightly happier with their program? That's what I was saying, Daryl. I think they're probably constantly looking and evaluating it. And I think what they just did, I feel like they thought, well, look, I'm certain. There were a lot of people that were mad, and I think mostly platinums, but I bet you a lot of diamonds were not upset with the announcement this past week that said diamonds will be forever. Right there, I don't know how many diamonds there are, but right there, they made a lot of people happy that were unhappy. Like that was the biggest beef with the first announcement. Like, wow, I can't believe my loyalty will expire. Like I worked 20 years to get the diamond. People would say, I did all these years to get the diamond. You're just going to rip it from me. Now platinum certainly feel like that because they're feeling like, hey, it's going to be hard for us to get to diamond. But yeah. And then the interesting thing, people are like, well, what about, blue, red, and gold cards? I don't know how many days you have to have, but I'm assuming that their concern is not those people. I'm assuming their concern is, again, it's a wild conversation, right? You're like, oh, would a business not be concerned about all of their customers? That's not the way it ever worked in any company that I worked for. You valued people that were more loyal, spent more money than people who didn't, because those are the customers you wanted to take the best care of. You want to take care of all your customers, but if you want to give extra care, if you want to give bonus, if you want to give perks, if you want to give gifts, you want to do that to people that are spending the most money with you. I think that's just a reality of life. Now, I know there's a lot of idealistic people out there that's like, oh, no, kumbaya, every customer counts the same. I don't think that's the way it works in the enterprise. That's not really the way the system works out most of the time on any company that I've ever experienced. So, yeah, pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. Question: Majestic Princess, November, first time on Princess, and we have a forward-facing balcony one level from the bridge. Any advice or tips? Don't shine a light directly into the bridge at night because you don't want to blind the captain. No, I would say just enjoy the view. I don't think you're going to have too much noise with the bridge over you. Most of the time, it's only a handful of people that are in the bridge. Yeah, I think that'll be beautiful. I don't know. That's an interesting question. What's the best view on the ship? The forward-facing, seeing the bow of the ship and the ocean in front of you, or side ocean facing where you're just looking out into the sea, or if you're if you're looking out at the wake. It's a tough call. I don't think I've ever stayed anything that was fully forward facing, but those are definitely different looks. But I think you'll have a great time. A great time. Question: always do a balcony. How is inside and the window ones, Lee? It's a whole different vibe. So a lot of these triple up things that we booked for Carnival are inside cabins, and it's just dark, man. There's like no windows, right? So I like sailing in a balcony because I don't even go out on the balcony that much. I just like being able to see that, but maybe once a day I'll go out to the balcony and look at something. I like that, but I don't really hate an interior either. It's just super dark. You get a lot of sleep. You kind of lose track of time and those kind of things. It's not for everybody. The window one's okay. Like, to me, I'm like, again, it depends on the price point, but the stuff that we were looking at, the interiors were several $100s less than the balcony. And when you're trying to do a bunch just to hit a number, you go as inexpensive as possible. But there's, if you're only going to cruise once a year, I would cruise in a balcony, whatever it costs, but if you're going to cruise 4 times a year, maybe you do a couple balcony, couple interior. I guess it just depends on your frequency. But if you're a 1 time a year cruiser or 1 time every other year, put the extra money toward the balcony. That's what I would say. Let's see. Question: at Port Canaveral, tips on renting a car at the airport and dropping it off at the cruise terminal, coming in a couple days ahead, and would love to do some sightseeing. What is over there by Port Canaveral? We did that one time. We had to rent a car. I can't remember where we were at. We might have been driving down from North Carolina, but we dropped the car off, I think, at an Avis, a couple miles away from the port. That worked out well. We've definitely done that in Fort Lauderdale. I'm picturing in my mind's eye the car drop off place in Fort Lauderdale. I think in Miami also. Both of those have really good facilities for that. I think you'll be fine. I mean, it's no different than anywhere else. Like, if you've already reserved your car at the airport with a drop off at the port, it's easy peasy, and I'm pretty sure there's a shuttle that takes you over to the cruise port. So yeah, you'll be good. You'll be good. Let's see. Rodney says, question on how to stay healthy on a cruise. Did all hand washing, sanitize, attempt to avoid, still got sick. It's tough because when you're in those communal situations, you're kind of at the mercy of other people's hygiene also. So really all you can do is do the best, right? Like, people will say start as soon as you get into your cabin and wipe your cabin down with Lysol and all that stuff. Make sure that you're washing your hands frequently. Sanitizer just doesn't do it. Sometimes sanitizers will clean your hands, but soap and water, rubbing soap and water actually gets everything. I think sanitizer kills some germs, but the washing actually removes all that stuff from your hand, and then some of the germs can't be killed by sanitizer. So frequent hand washing, try not to touch communal areas, all the stuff that you mentioned. And you still got maybe, I know there's some people that take the preemptive, what is it, Zircam or, Emergency or something like that. I don't know. I've been pretty fortunate. I haven't gotten sick on a lot of cruises, but I have gotten sick on a few. I think it's just part and parcel with being in communal situations with thousands of people. I don't know how to avoid it. Let's see. Does Bimini accept cruise visits all year long or just seasonally? My wife and I would like to visit Bimini, but we're finding very few dates to cruise there. Mojo Friday, I don't know. When I was looking at those Carnival cruises, I did see a couple Bimini ports of call. I don't know if it's all year round or not. I don't see why it wouldn't be. Most of those ports in the Caribbean are, but I use this website sometimes called Cruise Plum, CruisePlum, and you can search by port of call. So you can filter down, choose Bimini, and that should show you all the cruises going to Bimini. I would try that. William Jerome, question, any pre-cruise advice for our first transatlantic between Rome and Fort Lauderdale, Florida on Celebrity Ascent? We're transatlantic rookies. I mean, I've never been to Rome, so I think for me, if I had that cruise booked, I would probably go in a couple days early and sightsee the heck out of Rome. Yeah, transatlantic. I don't know how many port stops you have or how many consecutive sea days that you have, but just go ahead and get your mind set that you're going to relax. And I know a lot of times in our busy lives that's not easy to do, but I think some of some of my favorite cruising was on the one transatlantic I did where I had 8 sea days, and I thought that 8 sea days in a row. I thought that that would drag, and it ended up flying by. I mean, anything I'd ever thought to do on a cruise that I'd never done. I went to lectures and I went to more trivias. I just sat around and read a book. A lot of times cruising's so frenetic where you've got a limited amount of time and so many things to do. You're just running around trying to, oh, let me do this, let me do that, let me do that. It's that transatlantic cruising is a whole different kind of cruising where you really can lean into the relaxation and not feel stressed to do a bunch of stuff. Yeah, it was the best. It was the best. You know what I would do? I would go to Rome a couple days early. I would just kill the sightseeing, right? Like 8, 10 hours a day till you're exhausted, and then get on that transatlantic and just decompress and look at your pictures of Rome. Question from Steve: cruising out of Miami in January, but flying into Fort Lauderdale. Best way to get to Miami? Party of four. Oh, thank you so much for the kind words. Yeah, Steve, I think Miami. I believe there's a light rail that goes from Lauderdale to Miami. I've never used it. For me, I would probably just be doing Uber. I would probably be doing like one of the big Uber cars that fit 4 people on our luggage. But there is a train option, and there might be a shuttle option from the cruise line. So I don't know, who'd you say your cruise? Okay, you didn't say, but like check with your cruise line to see if they have a airport transfer from Fort Lauderdale to the ship in Miami. I don't think that's too unusual for ships that are sailing out of Miami because Fort Lauderdale is so close. So check with the cruise line, look for light rail, and if all else fails, do the Uber. There you go, the Tri Rail. I've been on part of that from Tampa over to Fort Lauderdale. Question: we'll be cruising out of Port Everglades. Do you know a hotel that allows you to park during your cruise and has a shuttle? Yeah, George. So we like over on the Dania Beach side there. They've got Hyatt House and Hyatt Place, and I believe both of those have park and cruise options. I'm pretty sure we've left our car. Normally we stay, I think, at Hyatt Place. I get them confused because they're right across the street from each other. But whichever one we stay at, we always park our car there. It's behind a gate. And yeah, it works out pretty good. Plus, there's a Panda Express on that road. I'll tell you what. I'm going to sidebar here a second. Where I work, they put in a Wendy's. That was the new fast food. I wonder if they have anything for Cheeseburger Day. That was the new fast food, and I feel like they built that Wendy's in about 8 hours. And then the big thing that we're all excited for in town is the appearance of Panda Express because we don't have one yet. And I feel like they've been building Panda Express for 8 years. So all that aside, if we can all have a moment and positively think about the completion of the Panda Express, I think that would make the world a lot better place. But yeah, can you tell it's lunchtime and I haven't had lunch yet? But that's what I would do. I would stay at the Hyatt Place or Hyatt House on Dania Beach side. I like that. It's usually less expensive than the marina side of that port, and it's pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty good. Did I touch the? Okay. Afraid I'm going to mute the thing. Gotta mute it. Any plans to start sailing on Celebrity? Occasionally love your channel, but also love Celebrity. Would love to have your take. So Linda, we've done several Celebrity, but it's been years, right? So we did the Celebrity Equinox. We did the Celebrity Edge. We've been on Celebrity Apex. Are those the only 3 Celebrity? I don't know. It's not my favorite cruise line, my favorite cruise experience. I got to go back. I mean, I'll tell you the things I do love about Celebrity. I love the buffet. One of my favorite things, especially if you're trying to stay healthy on a cruise, which I'm not a great example of that, but I'm just saying if I were, it would probably hold more weight. But what I like about the Celebrity buffet is they will grill proteins for you to order. So like say you're like leaning heavy into grilled chicken or grilled fish, you can get that on the buffet and they will cook it to order. So it's delicious. I like that. I do love the theater in the round on the half round. I love the theater on the Apex and the Edge and that class, the Edge class of ships. It's beautiful. I mean, it's like, semicircle, huge screens, a lot of great technology, big round stage. And I've seen some great shows there. And I love Cafe El Bacchio or Bacchio, and there's some great stuff on Celebrity. I don't know. When we were on the Apex, the vibe just wasn't right for us. They did some weird stuff with the restaurants, and it maybe turned us off a little bit to Celebrity. But this new one's out. The funny thing is, I think the XL is going on her inaugural voyage on the same day as the Princess naming ceremony. So yeah, maybe we'll get on the Princess or on the Celebrity next year. But it's great. I just don't know if it's the fit for me, but I know it's the fit for a lot of people, certainly. I do want to say that one of the reasons I did the live news today is that I am releasing. I went on MSC World America early August, and I'm releasing the video I made today. So 5 o'clock tonight, 5 p.m. I'm going to release the Exploring MSC World America, and excitingly, there was a partnership with MSC. They're giving a discount on MSC cruises in that video. So make sure you check that out if you're interested in what one of the world's largest cruise ships look like, the MSC World America. And also, if you are an MSC fan and you're looking for a discount, make sure you check that out later on today. Let's see. LeVar says, why are people so worried about Carnival's loyalty program? You only get a bottle of water, clothes, and maybe a couple of drinks. I'm two cruises away from platinum, and I don't care. I would say, LeVar, you're an exception to the rule. I think with all of these loyalty programs, it's a psychological thing that people feel like they have committed to a cruise line, and they'll defend that brand. They'll be super loyal to that brand, and all they want in return, even more so than the perks, they just want that loyalty to be reciprocated, that feeling of loyalty to be reciprocating. So what happens, it's like if you're in a relationship with somebody and man, you love them and you do everything you can for them and you stick up for them and you defend them, and they're telling you all along, hey man, I love you too. You're the best ever. I just want to keep doing stuff for you forever. Thanks for loving me. I'm loving you. And then one day you wake up and they go, yeah, I mean, we love you, but not like we used to. And we're going to love you in a different way. And I know you still love us in the same way. And I think it's more of a psychological thing. It's like people are hurt from that level. Like, oh, dude, like I thought we were locked in. I was your guy. I'm loyal to you. I saw it all the time in NASCAR, which was kind of funny. I used to follow NASCAR quite a bit, and the way people are loyal to NASCAR drivers. So, like for example, NASCAR. One of the things that they do is they sell sponsorships so that people can put paint jobs on those cars. So they might sell Kellogg's, so some driver might be associated with Kellogg's. And so I knew people that loved the Kellogg's guy and they wouldn't eat the Cheerios. I think Cheerios was General Mills. So they're like, I love Kellogg's because my driver's a Kellogg's guy and I'm not going to eat the Cheerios. And there was no rhyme or reason to it other than the psychological part. So I think that's why people are upset, because they feel like, in a time where there's not much loyalty in the world, it seemed like cruise loyalty was pretty solid. And I feel like a lot of people feel like that Carnival broke that for them. And I understand it. I understand it from the emotional part of it. Monster of the Lido. Jenny, we only have one. I was going to put up a couple more shirts before then, but I can do that. So it's that time of the year for Halloween cruises, and I've started making some new Monsters of the Lidos shirts. I'll throw it up. There's just one that was kind of inspired by Jenny, and it's a sloth, a scary sloth with a pumpkin. How do I get to that? Hold on. Hold, please. Hold, please. Jenny giving me homework right in the middle of the show. But that's the loyalty that I have to Jenny. If she wants me to do something, I'll do it, man. Now, the cool thing about the T-shirts, now you're going to see more T-shirts come our way. Now, we used to lean heavily into Teespring, which it didn't work out so well in the end. They ran through a problem with fulfillment, and there would be people that would order shirts, and it would take them a long time to get there. So I tried to navigate the Amazon merch on demand, and I figured it out. And so it's much better. We just made some T-shirts for the group cruise that's coming up next month. And I'm starting to make T-shirts for other stuff now, too. Let me see. But I don't really know the website that well yet. So hold, please. Hold, please. Oh, here we go. All right. So here's the link to the Scary Sloth shirt. Or at least that's what I'm calling it. Scary Sloth. Maybe. That's just the first of the Monsters of the Lido shirts. I guess I could show. Let me see if I can show the. I could show it to you guys. I think. Let me pull it back up. All aboard, your ship is leaving. Talk about everything and cruising. It's La Lido Loca time. It's the cruise show. It's the cruise show. All right. Let me share the screen with you. Oh, gotta unlock this thing. There we go. Look at that. So that's the new design for the Monsters of the Lido. This is a kind of an annual series that we do. I retired all of the ones previously, and then the back is the Scary Sloth. Look at that. Boo. So that's that link that I just put up, and it'll get there in just a couple days. So that's the beautiful thing about the Amazon on demand. I'm gonna keep putting them up, and I'll put some links in the other shows going forward. But there you go. There you go. All right. Question from Annette Mitchell. I'm going to Lakeland next Thursday. Can you deliver a Monster of the Lido shirt? No, Annette, those are fulfilled by Amazon, so I don't have any. I just make the designs, and Amazon does the fulfillment and everything else, so that's good. Yeah, I mean, to your point there, Chuck, it's good that Amazon handles it, because I couldn't imagine trying to be like, oh, I need 40 smalls or 40. That would be hard. That would be hard. Sarah's here from Gatlinburg, Tennessee. I was in Gatlinburg in mid-July. Okay, that's a Johnny Cash song. Shout out Ludacris. I haven't been to Gatlinburg in a while. We lived in Nashville, which Gatlinburg is the de facto place to visit when you live in Nashville. How we doing on them like buttons? Man, if you guys could hit the like, that will help YouTube know that the show is good. If you're reading the chat, you may have to close the chat and hit the thumbs up button, but it's cool. Databetic was a huge NASCAR fan until they introduced the playoff format. Yeah, man, we were watching, gosh, it feels like 20-something years ago. My brother worked for a company that got free tickets to Talladega when he was living in Alabama, and I was living in Nashville, so we would do like Nashville. We did Nashville, Bristol, Charlotte. I'm a Gordon fan. Don't anybody come at me, but that's the last time I was really watching NASCAR. Question, is there any, did I just shut the mic up now? Is there any cruise that just does autumn and not Halloween at the end of October? Like for decoration? So my daughter Marissa, that nerd, taught me this word autumnal. I don't think I had autumnal in my vocabulary at all, and now I can't shake it. So shout out Marissa. Look, I don't think anybody goes with a completely autumnal theme. I think you're always going to get Halloween, so. Althea's here from the UK. What's going on? Yeah, Tim, that's an interesting thing we've been kicking around. Like it would be cool to have some Florida meetups. We've been we're trying to get so right now we have two group. I guess just for history, when we first started the channel, we started doing some group cruises, and then we met a lot of great people and we had a lot of good fun, but we were concerned that maybe group cruise wasn't for us. You know, like it's a lot to be on for a week, especially. It's great when you know a lot of people, but when you're meeting people and you want to make sure people have a good time, it's a lot of stress, that kind of thing. So we're just putting our toe back in the group cruise space. We got a group cruise next month for about 56 people or something like that. And then we have a group cruise next year that's got over 200 people. So we're kind of waiting to see how that works out to figure out what kind of interaction we want to do going forward. But I do like the idea of a meet and greet. So I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. Oh, yeah, how we doing? So most people have not seen a fight on a cruise ship. So the reason I put that poll up there, have you ever witnessed firsthand a fight on a cruise? 92% have not. I've been on close to 70 cruises. I've never seen a fight on a cruise. I put that up there just because a lot of times when we talk about the outlier events that make headlines, people, I don't think people should do this. Hopefully, people have the wherewithal to know that the news isn't 100% reflective of every day, everything going on in life, that these are outlier events. But that's why I put that poll up, just to remind everybody that fighting on a cruise ship is not the norm. Question from Isabel. What did you and Jenny most like about the Jade? Hubby and I are sailing to Alaska on it next year. Was the Jade what we took out of Tampa? I like the small atrium, honestly, with the little Starbucks. I'm going to say we like the size of the ship. Sometimes you're in the mood for a big old cruise ship, and sometimes you're in the mood for just one that you can easily navigate and get around. The Jade, as I remember, it's really easy to get around. Of course, they got the old school. I don't even think they call it the local. I think it's Ocean still on there. I just think it was an easy, where we were staying, you could almost just walk out of your cabin and all of a sudden you're on the action decks, right? Where the restaurants and all that stuff were. So I think you're going to like it. I think it'd be great in Alaska because I think that's going to be some fun fjord type sailing, but it's a nice small ship. Let's see. What is the best cruise month? Is there warm water in January, February in the Caribbean? Pamela, I think like in the Gulf and probably down into the Caribbean Sea, isn't it like always 70 or 80 degrees in that water? Yeah, I feel like I've cruised in January, February, and water's felt a little too chilly to swim in. But the challenge is, the nice thing about January and February, especially if you don't want to cruise with a bunch of kids, kids are usually in school during that time. But then when you slide on into June, that begins hurricane season. So you've got June all the way through November. There's pluses and minuses, right? So January, February, March, April, May, the likelihood of a hurricane is really low, and the likelihood of a bunch of kids are really low. But you may not have the warmest weather. So I guess if you're gonna do one cruise a year, I guess you have to prioritize what's like super important to you. Is the warm water important? You're gonna have to go probably during hurricane season or something like that. But I think it's kind of warm. Oh, Jenny B said the bathroom was horrible. Was it small? Must have been small in the Jade. Do you ever log into your cruise planner and see more OBC than you meant to get? That I don't know. Man, I have a casino offer out there that I was trying to activate for a cruise on the 22nd that had a $300 excursion credit, which I would have used at Celebration Key. I gotta look deeper into that. Question. The Comic-Con's coming to the Javits Center. Yeah, Carol, we're our group cruise. We'll be. You know what? We'll be. Oh, how about that, Carol? We're gonna be in New York on the 9th. I didn't know that. I've never been to the New York Comic-Con. We have a whole full day. We have the 10th. I was thinking about going like to the Metropolitan Museum of Art or something like that. I've never been there. Oh, but Comic-Con, that might be a tough ticket and a lot of lines. That should be interesting. Let's see. Everybody has audio issues. Let me see. The mic's on. I don't know. Maybe refresh. Everybody's sound is out. Annette has downloaded the Cruise Globe. Yeah, I like the Cruise Globe. So normally I keep my cruises in Shipmate, but our friend Emma is a part owner of the Cruise Globe, and I've been using that more and more. So I highly recommend that. I can give you a link to the Cruise Globe to try. Hold, please. Hold, please. Let's see. I feel like I should sing a song or something.
What's that?
Dun, 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 dun. This is an affiliate link from the Cruise Globe, so if you guys want to try out the Cruise Globe, you can find it there at the Cruise Maps, and if you click that link, it's good for the Cruise Globes, and it's good for La Lita Loca. Let's see. We cruise every January to the Eastern Caribbean and have no issues with the water not being warm. There you go. That's good. That's good info, Sue. Question: how is Royal Caribbean's Explorer of the Seas? Is she very dated? I don't even know if I've been on Explorer of the Seas, but I feel like I've been on some ship. let me say this as a rule of thumb, all of the ships that were built 15, 20 years ago, they're going to have some dated decor. Now, as part of every ship's life cycle, they do go in for regular renovation. And so they'll get the latest and greatest. But I would say yes, anytime that you go on a ship that's 10 years old, even 5 years old, 5 years old, 10 years old, 20 years old, I think it's going to feel dated compared to if you go on a brand new ship. So I think you almost have to level set your expectations for that to say it's going to be old. But again, I've been on a bunch of old ships and I've never been mad about it. You know what I mean? So but yeah, level set your expectations. If you want the shiniest, newest, brightest with all the bells and whistles, then you got to book one of the newest cruise ships. That's right. Cruise Globe app is free. Make sure it doesn't cost anything to use that. It is tied on the back end. Like once you have all your cruises in there and you want a memento, a great souvenir, you can print out a map that you can purchase a map that shows the route of your cruise. That's the part of it that, well, that's how they make money over there when people buy the maps. But the front end of it, the website and the Cruise Globe, absolutely free. Uh, let's see. I thought the water was cold in the Med in June, July, but I'm still going to try the Caribbean in February. There you go. All right, we got 9 minutes left before I go find a cheeseburger. Who's got the best cheeseburger? Fast casual. What's the best cheeseburger out there? Where should we, I don't even think I'm gonna have a cheeseburger, but I'm tempted. How's your request to book a shipload of Carnival cruises? So pretty good. We booked four. We booked four so far. That will give it four at the times 3 rate. So I think we're gonna get it. Like I'm trying to do one more before the group cruise, but the one I wanted to go on I couldn't book this morning. So I think we might get there. Question from Dan G. Did you check out Royal Beach Club announcement on Nassau? Seems cool, but a massive price gouge. I felt like somebody covered it the other day, and I just caught in my ears what it was, but I haven't looked at it personally. What's it cost? I'll tell you what I would pay for it. I would probably pay $100 for the whole day over there, or $80. Is it a lot more than that? And do you have to pay extra for drinks and stuff? Any plans for Portland on the next cruise? I don't know, Judy. So here's the problem. Not a problem. Here's the cool thing about Portland. We have a good friend that lives in Portland. So part of me, I was looking at the excursions and I'm like, oh, there's some great excursions in Portland and maybe I could do an excursion and show Portland that way. But then part of me is like, oh, it'd be fun to see our friend in Portland too. So I don't know. I haven't locked in on it yet. I don't have any excursions booked for this group cruise and I want to because there's some good ones. Some good ones. Oh, Culver's right down the road, Bridget. That's tempting. Question: why is the cruise from Philadelphia next year so expensive? I live here and those prices are crazy. I don't know, LeVar. I mean, I'm assuming because it's the first cruise from Philadelphia from 25 years. I don't even know what the pricing is right now, but I would assume that limited space, all that stuff that make prices go up. It's like that in cruising, right? As long as people are paying whatever price it is, they're going to keep selling it at that price. Question: am I going on Disney Destiny? No plans to go on Disney anytime. The funny thing, as I say that though, I'm very excited for November when our friend Don goes on Carnival, at least for the first time since I've known him. He said that he's gone in the past, but I bet you it's like 15 or 20 years since he's been on Carnival. So I'm so excited to be on the celebration with Don to see that. Okay, so the prices for the Royal Beach Club, 130 to 200 with no booze, 250 with booze. Gosh, that's a pretty expensive day. That's a pretty expensive day, right? Because you think about the beach clubs in Cozumel, I think you go to like the Paradise for 70 or 80 bucks and you get all the food and drink you can get. So yeah, it might be tough. It might be tough. Again, it's one of those things like if all of a sudden there's probably limited spaces so they can charge more. And if it sells out, then no problem. But if it doesn't, then they'll probably drop the price. Let's see. All right. Yeah, it sounds like the audio may be localized. So if you're having audio issues, maybe refresh your browser because some have it and some don't. Is the drink package going to carry over on the Royal Beach Club? I don't know. Again, I got to look at it. Uh, Question: would you do a group cruise from the UK for Brit viewers? That would be kind of fun. I tell you, Peter, one of my favorite cruise, like that I would really love to repeat, was that British Isles cruise. Those port stops were so fun. It might be fun to see if we could get a group of people, like if Don wanted to do something, and I don't know if we could talk Emma into getting on the ship, but it'd be fun if we could get some creators from that area to come and cruise together and pull people over there. So. Would I go back to Belize? I'm pretty sure I would. I can't think of any reason why I wouldn't go to Belize. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. It's cold in here today. I don't know what it is. Sometimes, like, so I have an individual air conditioning control in my office, and I have a unit that controls my office. But for whatever reason, out in the hallways and in the corridors, it is cranked down. Like all the windows on the outside of the building are condensating, and I'm just sitting here freezing in my short pants. Oh, Felix said no drink package. That's weird, Christy. I've never had trouble at Paradise at all. Any destination I wouldn't return to, Alexis asks. I don't know. Like again, I feel just lucky to go anywhere, so I can't think of. And I've been to a lot of places a lot of times. I've always been able to find fun stuff to do wherever I go. No, I don't. Nothing comes to mind. Question: first Alaska cruise. What places are need to see in Seattle? It depends what you like, really. I mean, they have that Museum of Pop Art there. It's abbreviated a certain way, but under the Space Needle, I love Chihuly glass. But if you've been to Chihuly in Tampa, really, if you've been to any of the Chihuly museums, it's going to be the same. But yeah, the Chihuly's there. They've got that Museum of Pop Art. They've got the Space Needle. I've done all those things. I thought they were fantastic. For a time in my life, I collected Funko Pops. So I, rented a car and I drove up to Everett, Washington to see the Funko headquarters. That was pretty fantastic. Go to the public market, right? That's the thing to do. Public market, tons of shopping, tons of restaurants. There's a lot of great stuff to do in Seattle. Going on Wonder of the Seas, what would you recommend? Anytime you go on those Oasis class ships, who was that asking? Lane. I would just do the entertainment. So they have an ice skating rink, they've got an aqua show, they've got the comedy club, and then they've got the production show. I think Effectors 2 is on Wonder of the Seas. All that stuff's fantastic. I like the Azumi Sushi there. That might be my favorite specialty restaurant. And then that's not the place. No, so Wonder doesn't have the same stuff as the Odyssey, but yeah, I would definitely hit the entertainment, and I would do some Azumi sushi. For a great included meal, though, the Park Cafe on any of those, the Oasis class and now the new Icon class, the Park Cafe is a great grab and go with the famous roast beef sandwich. I would check that out. Have I booked more carnivals to make diamond? Yes, I think there's a path. We have a path to get to 200. So. Oh, iron. Okay, cool. Sorry about that. It is an iron. I've never had trouble. Pop culture in Seattle. All right, guys. Thanks for joining for the Cruise Show Live. A reminder, 5 o'clock tonight will be my little adventure on the MSC World America. And that's also going to include a discount for MSC cruises if you like that. But whether you're going to cruise on MSC or not, definitely check out the video because it's really interesting. What I'm interested to see is you can tell that MSC smartly took a look at other cruise ships, as I would think most cruise companies do, and you can see some spots where they were inspired by other cruise lines. So that's what I'm really hoping to see, like in the comments, people saying, oh, this looks maybe like that or like that. So make sure you check out that adventure at 5 p.m. And what is it, Thursday? It's National Cheeseburger Day. Go get a cheeseburger. Thanks, everybody, for stopping by. My name's Tony. For the lovely Jenny B that's in the chat, we are La Lita Loca. And until the next time, I like this tune. Until the next time, we'll see you on the Lido.